You're coming up on Dragov's outer perimeter. Remember, you're only here for Dragov. But if you find his supply depot, raid it. Denying Dragov that stockpile will also deny Keener crucial support.
Be careful. We still don't like the idea of throwing him to the wolves, no matter how much we want Dragov first roll in the city.
Everything you take from them is something they can't send to Keener.
Bring Keener supplies. I don't care what it takes. Take them out.
Bring me to the stockpile now.
Hostiles approaching. Hostiles drawing near. Hostiles incoming. Hostiles approaching. They got one of ours! You like light shows? Hostiles nearby.
Time to put these down!
Minigun power restored.
You are watching Random Plays. This is Radio Gamer back on track, loud and clear. Previously, we've had the first bleed cancellation build, which is through armor and kill. This time, the bleed cancellation will be coming from your bonus armor. So right now, we are in part 2 of our bleed cancellation build in combo with the Hunter's Fury and the Backfire SMG Exotic. The taking damage from your backfire upon reload won't be a problem from this build because it would be more consistent and sustainable since bonus armor will be available every time. How? Just equip the perfect adrenaline rush from the Matador backpack and armor is served. This is a total DPS build as you equip the backfire for crit hit damage, Hunter's Fury for SMG damage, and Intimidate for additional weapon damage. So just to get the hang of it, let's get started. Coming from our specialization, we always want to pair up this Hunter's Fury gear set with the Gunner specialization, primarily because of the additional 10% armor and kill. This will be increasing our effectivity for the armor and kill, wherein Hunter's Fury will be giving you 20%, and this Gunner specialization will be giving you 10%. Thus, we'll be having a total of 30% armor and kill. Now, if we'll be going with the SMG build, this supply line talent would be useful as well since we'll be generating 10% of total ammo capacity every 60 seconds. Party members recover 5%. Now, if you want to have some crowd control with your enemies, you can equip this Banshee Pulse wherein it'll be launching a forward alt pulse of energy that disorients the enemies and confuse them in no time. And third, will be this barrage talent wherein rate of fire increases by 5% for kill on 5 seconds. So first, with our weapons, we'd still be equipping this Backfire SMG Exotic, and this is going to be our part 2 as we have it in combo with the Hunter's Fury gear set. So right now we do have this Backfire. This is 413,000 total damage, 850 RPM, and 55 mag. This is for 15% SMG damage, 18.5 crit hit chance, and 11.5 magazine size. So right now I do have here talent called Payment in Kind, and this is the ticking damage coming from the backfire as you reload, so let's hear it out loud. Dealing damage to enemies adds a stack of 1% crit hit damage up to 200 stacks, lasting up to 10 seconds. So if we do the math, that is going to be 200% of crit hit damage. So on reload, it applies a 10 seconds bleed to yourself, which deals 0.5% armor damage per stack. For our secondary weapon, we'll be having this swap chain, but we won't be using it as much since we'll be featuring the Backfire SMG Exotic. But right now I have featured here the swap chain, and this is a named item. This one got 102,000 total damage, 950 RPM, and 40 mag. I've got here 15% SMG damage, 18% crit hit chance, and I have rolled this for 6% damage to armor. This is the reason why it has been a named item, because it got the talent called Perfect Unwavering, wherein swapping to this weapon grants 400% weapon handling for 5 seconds. Kills refresh the buff, but swapping away disables this from all weapons for 5 seconds. So next thing to discuss would be our gears, and let's cover first the brand set of each, but let's start with the Hunter's Fury. For this one, we got 15% shotgun damage, 15% SMG damage. That is for 2 pieces. 3 pieces will be having 20% armor and kill, 100% health on kill. Now for 4 pieces or for the full equipment of the Hunter's Fury, we'll be having this Apex Predator wherein enemies within 15 meters receive a debuff amplifying your weapon damage against them by 20%. Killing a debuffed enemy with your weapon disorients other enemies within 5 meters and amplifies weapon damage by 5% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. Now I don't have the backpack and the chest part over here, so we won't be taking those talents. But right now I have here for the chest this Sokolov Concern, and this is for additional 10% SMG damage. Next thing for the backpack, I do have here the Matador. This is a named item, and we got Walker Harris for 5% weapon damage. As said a while ago, we won't be having the backpack and the chest coming from the Hunter's Fury, so we won't be taking any of those buffs, but that has been on purpose. First, for the chest part, we'll be having this regular talent called Intimidate, wherein when we have bonus armor, it amplifies total weapon damage by 35% to enemies within 10 meters. Now for the backpack, we do have here the named item called Matador, and this is in total synergy with the chest part that we have earlier because this also applies within 10 meters. So whenever you are within 10 meters of an enemy, gain 23% bonus armor for 5 seconds, and it stacks up to 3 times. Cooldown is for 5 seconds. So we're now done with the talents. Let's now go with the attribute composition of our gears. So right now I have made it to a point that this will be a balance between blue core attributes and red weapon damage attributes, and we want to take advantage as much as possible of this backpack talent called Perfect Adrenaline Rush, wherein we'll be having 23% bonus armor, and that can stack up to 3 times. If we do the math, that is going to be about 69%, and having this max out of armor blue core attributes from 3 of our gear pieces and rendering about 1.3 million armor will be a decent amount in gaining that 69% bonus armor. Well, for the other 3 pieces, for the mask, chest, and the knee pads, we do have almost max out of 15%. We'll actually max out for the knee pads, max out for the chest, and for the mask, just 14%. Well, you don't have to worry for the damage since we'll be having the backfire and we'll be stacking up the crit hit damage up to 200%. Right? And also kindly remember that we are pointing out that this is a bleed cancellation build wherein we don't want to have that ticking damage to be much of a problem as we use the Backfire SMG Exotic. So the main idea here is to get that ticking damage be taken off by that bonus armor given by the Adrenaline Rush. And I think before it even reaches that 1.3 million core armor, we'll be able to get some armor and kill from the Hunter's Fury gear set. So let's now take a glimpse from our stats. Right over here, the first thing that you want to see is the crit hit chance, and right now I want to emphasize that this build got 60% crit hit chance and 86% crit hit damage. And yes, for every SMG builds, the first thing that you want to build is this crit hit chance, wherein you'll be having good rate of fire for every SMG builds that you will have, and from there, you'll be hitting hard as you go for your SMGs. So let's go now gear per piece. As I go for the mask, I have here 14% weapon damage. I have rolled this for 6% crit hit chance, and the mod slot is 5.5 crit hit chance. For the backpack, I have rolled this for 170,000 armor, and by default, this is for 4,505 armor regen and 8.5 hazard protection. And it got a mod slot of a red mod slot, which is for 5.8 crit hit chance. For the chest, we got a Sokolov here, max out for 15% weapon damage, max out of 12% crit hit damage, and max out of 10% hazard protection. This one is for a red mod slot for 5.8 crit hit chance. Now for the gloves, by default, this is for 12% crit hit damage, and I have rolled it for 170,000 armor. For the holster, we do have here by default 6% crit hit chance, and I have rolled it for 170,000 armor as well. And lastly, for the knee pads, by default, this is for 15% weapon damage, and I have rolled this for 12% crit hit damage. And next thing with the skills, first thing that I have chosen is this Crusader Ballistic Shield because we always want to protect our bonus armor. And first point here is because of this Intimidate talent, wherein this 35% weapon damage can only be achieved whenever you have that bonus armor. And second, this bonus armor is the one that we will be using as we take some ticking damage from the Backfire SMG Exotic. Now for the second skill, if you want to, you can always go for any of your skills as usual, but I always go for a Reviver Hive, especially if you're going with your team to help them as well. But you can go for any of your skills. This can be a Striker Drone or even this Banshee Pulse, since we are going with this Gunner specialization. And lastly, as usual, I'll be showing you the preview of our stats. That's it for the video. If you like it, please give a thumbs up. And please do subscribe to my channel. I will really appreciate it for more upcoming Division 2 videos. Once again, you are watching Random Plays. This is Radio Gamer. Over and out.